Yo, what's up, y'all? It's LSD. We are back. Kirsten, Paul, and Ryan, and your boy Evan. It's been a long time, but we are in the bubble, and basketball is back. What's up, fellas?
He said we're in the bubble, like
it's
we're
basketball time.
We're not in the bubble. We're not in Florida. We're all
not
in
in
our
the bubble.
Wait, you with Jack Harlow in the bubble? Are you in the bubble right now, Jack?
Are you in the bubble?
Jack is not in the bubble, guys.
Jack ain't even welcome in the
Jack
bubble.
is in Magic City, bro.
But what if,
Jack is eating
Jack's focused on a different kind of bubble. Yeah, man, it's been a wild 3 months, 4 months. I'm losing track of time these days, but you know, it's been about mid-March when Rudy Gobert tested positive for coronavirus and the whole NBA shut down. And here we are now, several months later. They came up with this bubble plan, and they just played a few scrimmages in the bubble. It looks like it's about to happen, I guess.
Yeah, I think it is going to happen. I think, I think we have a bubble compared to other sports trying to be out traveling. So we're not getting tested positive, and we're going to keep it going. We're going to try to get this ring for the Lakers. Definitely a weird time for all of us, but it's nice to have. I mean, I know you guys wanted to share how you guys felt initially when you first heard about it coming back, but yeah, I'm happy that it's about to come back soon.
Yeah, man. I, for one, was super skeptical. I'm team, like, we don't know nothing about the virus, but our country is down to put money over anything. So, I just, this whole time leading up, I was like, this don't make much sense, man. Like, how are they going to do this? You know, so forth. I've been very, very anti the bubble. And, but now that I've watched 3 actual Laker games in the bubble, and, like, tomorrow is the Clippers game. Tomorrow, Thursday, will be Lakers versus Clippers. So, like, we made it here. All my skepticism is about to fly out the window as long as we don't end up like the Miami Marlins, like Paul was saying, you know.
Oh my gosh, the Miami Marlins. What the hell have they done, yo?
Nothing, which is the problem.
What were they doing together?
They went to the bank bus, man.
You know who's had a great who the coaches and one of the scrimmages had a great like bubble so far? Drum roll, please. Kyle Kuzma. You know where I was going with this. Y'all know where I was going with this. Your boy put up 25 the other day, and he hit like 6 threes. Like, that's a gang of threes, and I don't think he missed.
Man was efficient.
You feel me? I feel like if he's actually the person that we want him to be, then, like, it's a wrap. We're going to win the chip 4-0.
It would be a wrap if he could be that guy that he once was. I think maybe he's now getting adjusted, you know, because he was kind of our man, you know.
Right.
But by default,
he says himself that he's a volume player, and so he needed the adjustment. If a year or 2 years ago you were, you know, getting a lot more dribbles, a lot more touches, and now you have to play behind LeBron, who's not injured, or AD, who's new to the squad, then you're going to get a lot less touches. You're not going to get in that same rhythm, but you got to adjust to your new amount of touches. You can't just slunk into the fact that you're not going to get 20 shots a game. You need to make the 10 that you do get.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he's learning to adjust to his role for sure. And
yeah.
He was just a summer league champ 3 years ago, so it's like he's had to change a lot. He's growing, different player. Got him a model baddie. That's helping his confidence even more. He's taking selfies. You know, he's out here.
Shout out to Winnie Harlow. You know what I'm saying?
I think something that's being like grossly understated is like he was. If you remember, like when USA was going into that shit, he was balling over there. Popovich was saying like he was like the star of the camp. Then he went down with the stress fracture. Did not get to go through any training camp. Then had to come in playing behind LeBron and AD. Like, that's going to fuck up your confidence. He has the game, and it's there. It's just ready to unpack, and I feel like the bubble is about to be the perfect place for him to display that shit. And he about to win a chip, bro.
No, you're right. He didn't get that proper transition at all to fit in with them. Like, they respected him and knew what he was capable of, but he really didn't get to
injury.
You know,
he didn't even come in till 5 games into this season after all the preseason had happened because he got injured with the Popovich group. So you're right. Even with the new addition in AD, he had to like work his way into the system. This whole new rotation, this new thing, they took off without him. They practiced a whole summer without him.
I mean,
but even so it does make sense. He had to figure it out, but he seems to be doing that. The number one thing I noticed with all of these guys, Kuzma especially, but all of these guys is, man, do they seem well rested. I know it's just the first 3 scrimmage games, but they seem like they got some power under them legs. They're not tired. When is the last time LeBron James had 4 months off? Seriously, like
when he graduated high school.
No, for real, dead ass.
If you could be in that bubble, would you want to be in that bubble? I don't know if I would.
So
there's no hoes.
Sorry. There are no hoes.
That's a big
me
deal.
and my roommate were talking about this earlier. Like, historically, like Kobe would have thrived in this bubble.
Ooh.
Kobe
never
like
lied.
does well when there's no hoes. Allen Iverson, however, he might not
hoes would've been a
survive the
distraction.
bubble too well.
Dwayne Wade had a whole side baby. Bubbles was not meant for Dwayne Wade to the world.
And
But
a credit to
I'm not.
what's up? Oh, go.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, besides personal reasons of the bubble, I had no doubt that Adam Silver would, make this actually and execute it like flawless. I'm not gonna say flawlessly, but he's doing a pretty good job under the circumstances. The only critique I have of this is, and maybe there is part of the protocols that I'm not aware of, but there needs to be some like approval for conjugal visits. Like maybe.
Well,
Yeah, that's on page 108.
right, you gotta
subsection,
tuck it into the rules.
Like
Yeah.
paragraph 7,
yeah.
like subsection B.
I'm sure.
Well, once the
there's
second
some-
round starts, they're supposed to let them in because once the teams are out, then the family can come. So once the second round
Oh,
starts,
for real?
I didn't know
really?
that.
yeah,
Okay.
once the second round starts, they're going to allow family to come to the ball.
Oh, but just family?
This is what I heard.
Huh.
Family and like some friends, I'm assuming.
And like
Yeah.
friends,
Yeah.
right? Like friends.
Right, if I'm Lou Will,
Well,
I don't
I don't
have a
know. I don't know how
wife,
limited
two
it is, but that's what I
girlfriends to
heard.
come.
Yeah, what about
I mean, if Lou Will
yeah.
wants both of his girls there, I mean, yeah, I'm sure that's something he can set up there. I'm just saying that's what I heard is they set them up separately. That once the other teams go out, those rooms will be available, and then they'll.
He'll
switch.
take-
Oh yeah, that makes
He'll
sense.
take
There will be
he'll
open-
take Kawhi's extra family slot because Kawhi doesn't love anybody. He doesn't know how to feel emotion, so he'll just take that extra Kawhi spot.
He took the day off for a family matter.
No, I'm just
Just because he's a robot doesn't mean he actually is a robot. He is a robot, though.
Do you guys know the layout for the hotels actually too?
Yeah, so
I heard-
I love my
I saw-
There's like-
friends.
Shut up.
there's like
I
14
did hear
first
that-
spot or something.
I did hear that it was based on like ranking and
Yeah.
quality. Like
It is.
the better hotels went to the higher ranked teams.
So-
I did hear that part.
This is Grand Destino. This is that hotel. Bucks, Lakers,
Yeah.
Raptors, Clippers, Celtics, Nuggets, Jazz, and Heat.
Oh yeah, that's the only teams they care about. Everybody else
That's a
doesn't
lit
matter to
hotel.
the league. Yeah, exactly.
Right? Okay.
Wait, what about the Rockets? The Rockets aren't in
What
that one?
hotel
All right.
are the Sixers at?
Here is the Floridian. The Floridian has Thunder, Sixers, Rockets, Pacers, Mavericks, Nets, Grizzlies, Magic.
So you're telling me in this hotel, Russell and Harden and Chris Paul could just like walk down the hallway by each
Yeah.
other? They put Oklahoma and the Rockets in the same hotel.
And then the last is Yacht
That's
Club.
a guaranteed matchup.
Blazers, Kings, Pelicans, Spurs, Suns, Wizards.
That's the
So there's
hotel that
nobody
if the
staying
power
at
cut off,
Animal
they wouldn't
Kingdom?
care.
What you
Staying
guys?
at Animal Kingdom. That's the best hotel down there.
That might be for the champions then.
Or the owners, the GMs, the something. I don't know.
Yeah,
And-
Ryan, they're not called owners no more. They're governors, bro.
Oh, you're right.
Get
You're
your-
right.
get your
CEOs.
lingo- Get your lingo together. It's
What's the master bedroom called now? It's
called the governor's
the governor's
Balls.
mansion
yeah.
for sure.
Governor.
Speaking of commercials, do you guys catch the Morongo? Morongo's the one casino we did not talk to. We've talked to Pachanga and we've talked to San Manuel as
Hey, shout out San
LSDers.
Manuel, man.
They the homies.
They the
But we
homies.
have not talked to Morongo. And Morongo just started running this new commercial. I don't know if y'all saw it. during one of the 3 games, but they have all their casino people are all wearing masks and they're telling you welcome back to Morongo Casino. And I gotta say, it's one of the most horrifying advertisements I've ever seen. Like, just don't show me anything. Just give me audio saying like, hey, Morongo, we're open with a bunch of drone shots. Like, you don't have to show me people in masks, bro. Make me deal with that when I get there. It's horrible for advertising. It turned me off.
I swear to God, the dude looked like Joe Biden.
With the gambler?
In the commercial, yeah.
That commercial, every commercial that's been trying to like advertise welcome back has been so eerily dystopic. Like
horrifying.
That one. And also Morongo, I think they used the same actors that they used prior. Because I was like, aren't these the same Morongo actors but without the mask? Because at first I thought they digitally added, but I was like, oh no, those are real, and they just got the same actors. So that part was hilarious to me. That's consistent. That's consistent.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, because only 8 people frequent San Manuel.
Morongo. San Manuel the homies.
Morongo.
San Manuel is the homies.
Yeah, I mean, bro, we are 4 of those 8 people.
Yeah.
Every time we go, we see the same other 4.
That's funny.
But
that
was a weird commercial.
It was horrible.
I don't know. Everything is.
Please stop welcoming me back to somewhere with a mask. Just tell me like that you could like, I don't know. There's a lot of creative ways to tell me you're back open during this pandemic without like horrifying me. Disneyland did the same thing.
Tours.
The Disneyland one is so terrifying.
So bad.
They took it down, but I found it on the Disneyland French YouTube. So that's the one I still saw that. But
okay.
What are you talking about?
The Disneyland Welcome Back commercial where they had the masks on, like the day it came out, it was the most horrifying shit I've ever seen.
Everyone was getting on it. Everyone was with the mask and saying "Welcome back." And then in one there was a group of them all lined up and they said "Welcome back" in unison. And
so,
it ends
they took
with
it down. That's what you're saying. They're in the Disney bubble. Disney's commercial was horrifying, but what I'm seeing from basketball so far is not horrifying. I like the layout of the floors. I even the Black Lives Matter is on the courts on a lot of teams. I will admit that I was a skeptic about the focus of the community. That once basketball came back, we might lose focus on what's going on. I have shifted my opinion because since Kyrie brought it up to now, the protests have not stopped. The news may have stopped covering it, but there's crazy protests going on every single day in every major city to support Black Lives Matter. And if you watch the post-game interviews with people like Tobias Harris, LeBron James, etc., where they are not allowing media to shift the narrative. You can ask me all you want to about my 12th rebound. I'm going to tell you about Breonna Taylor and the fact that Kentucky needs to do the right thing by her and her family. So like, I was skeptical about that. I was one of the ones that said like, man, we're going to lose focus. And it appears we haven't lost focus. Every time anybody turns the game on, you got to see Black Lives Matter. You got to hear about our agenda. And I think like, that's going to be powerful if this is it through October. If that's all they're going to get from y'all through October is a strong stance, putting your foot down and not equivocating on what you truly believe in, then like, we might actually see a little extra progress.
I don't know about progress, but it's definitely going to see attention on it, you know, and like with this being like the only live entertainment that we are going to really be consuming over the next like couple months, I feel like it's incumbent upon them to really like, keep that shit going. And, to their credit, they've been doing that. And, NBA is honestly the best run sports organization in the world, and everybody else should take note.
I think it's run.
Yeah, I mean,
go. Sorry.
I think it's run well. It's funny because I've been watching like soccer since it came back in the Premier League. They've been kneeling before every game, and like this happens in America. And this is a worldwide issue, but obviously like this happening in America and those becoming such like talking head points of kneeling against the flag and things like that. Right. Obviously, it's important for the country to get past that. I don't know how fair it is for NBA players who are predominantly black to be the to be the symbol or be like the people to speak on it, because in the end they're just basketball players. I think that some of them are taking the responsibility of being more than that, and I appreciate that, but I think it's really on all of us to really kind of take that inspiration and see what we can do, and obviously, there's people in our community doing that, so I'm happy that they're taking it within themselves to do that responsibility. But I also it's also I don't know, man, they're basketball players. I feel like they don't need to do that. I'm happy that they're doing it. But I don't know, how do you guys feel like LeBron and Anthony Davis don't have names on the back compared to whoever?
Yeah, no, I do agree with you, Paul. I think it's a unfortunate burden that's placed on them. I don't think when LeBron is working on his jumper at 19 years old that he expects that he's about to have to, be some semblance of MLK or Malcolm X or something, and speak for his whole community. Maybe when he was 19, he knew, hey, I want to build a school and I want to give back. Maybe that's what he thought, but I'm sure that came later along in his life when he got money, when he learned more about the world around him.
How great LeBron. I was speaking more like.
No, I'm saying it's an unfortunate burden that's placed on anybody with.
Like an average NBA player.
Anybody with celebrity at all. Like Tobias Harris was somebody that spoke up about Brianna and refused to talk basketball. He only wanted to talk Brianna. And again, that's an unfortunate burden. He should just be able to talk about that pick and roll player, that rebound that he got. But who is being listened to in our entire country more than them, especially black voices? Who other than our millionaires and billionaires, our entertainers and our athletes are the only people that have platforms to begin with. So it's an unfortunate burden that is placed on them. It shouldn't be, but I also appreciate that they don't shy away from the obligation. You could say nothing, and instead they choose to continue to fight the fight. And let me just say, everything that the NBA is doing is dope. And everything the WNBA is doing is 3 times as dope, and they get half the recognition. The WNBA is killing it on all social justice fronts, and we don't pay them much mind either.
Right. Everyone's just trying to get the orange sweater.
Oh yeah, I still haven't seen it, but I want one.
The orange sweater, yeah, I mean, it looks tight.
I'll say, at this point, it's not going to be progress. They're not really doing change. If they wore a name on their back, it really doesn't matter. It's all performative gestures at this point, I'll say.
Right.
I'm not going to say they all don't care. They definitely probably care. But I think there's a big thing about, how will they wield their power? Because, my whole thing was what they could have done, and I don't think they saw it that way or even thought of it. But, you could do what the LA teacher union is doing. They're not opening the schools till their demands are met, and one of their demands is police defundment. And that's a huge sacrifice, and that's our teachers. And it's everyone, there's not one person that this is a burden, this should be, how you said, this is a burden on them. Honestly, this is, how Paul said, it's a responsibility of all of us in our own way, in our own environment, and what we can do to radicalize it. And it's you have this power. And if you guys came together, even though I love that, I miss basketball, I love it, but you could have been we're going to sit out until this demand is met, police defunding 50% or something, That's a huge thing, but everyone's not on that same line of thinking, But putting Black Lives Matter is okay, that's fine. You're just doing everyone else where you're painting something. I gotta
disagree with you, man. I feel like part of it is, to a degree it is performative, but it's about sparking the conversation. So it's it's not gonna get the racist fan on this first go around Tobias, but if he's still doing this in September. And we're still having these same kind of conversations, I feel it'll start to have worn down on people, and then the effects of this shit they might start Googling, and the effects might spread way further than beyond by what they're doing right now. So yes, it is performative, but I feel like these tactics could actually have like far-reaching effects, especially since, you know, these are the only thing that we're looking forward to right now. And the only thing that you could take away from it post-game is like arrest Breonna Taylor's murderers. You're either gonna like double down on like them not being arrested, or you're gonna like mosey on over and sign a petition and possibly change happens. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it is performative, but I feel
so
like
I think both of you guys are
way
right.
That they're going at it, are, you know, could be fruitful.
Both of you guys are right, coming from different perspectives. What Evan is saying is great to make an impact societal-wise, on a person-to-person, opinion-to-opinion basis, to where you can, I believe you can legitimately sway some people who maybe they don't support Black Lives Matter because of the things they said about the nuclear family or whatever. You know, they'll cherry pick moments to say they don't support the phrase. But when you talk to them about the specific Breonna Taylor situation, it's kind of hard to defend anybody that, you know, let that girl die like that. So when Tobias does what he does, it is attacking it on a psyche level, on a person-to-person level, and on an opinion level. However, what Kirsten was suggesting and what I thought, like, what Kyrie brought up and what I thought would have been a good idea, attacks it on a business level, attacks it on a, like, politics level, where the if you tell the owners of the basketball team, we aren't playing until these demands are met, and then the billionaires go talk to the politicians about getting these demands met, you see that action a lot faster, because what you're slowing down is billionaires' pipelines of funds. Like, they made this bubble happen fast as hell, because what are they tied up in? These multi-billion-dollar TV contracts. So virus be damned, Florida being the world's #1 hotspot be damned, we gonna get this money, is how they kind of approached it. So when you understand that money is the bottom line, hit them where it most hurts. Tell that billionaire owner, you have to be on our side or your money stops. And then watch how fast some shit changes. You're not gonna get every demand, but watch how fast some shit changes.
And that's why like the conversation thing is great, but it's like such a like liberal talking point, because like we all know the conversation. We all are aware. Awareness isn't change. Like, we can have
you don't know from Kaepernick to now what we're talking about.
But like, I don't care if there's races. I care that policies are different and change, because I'm not trying to change racists' hearts or a person who's on the fence. So I get it.
Right.
Like,
but like
this
as
is
entertainment, that's what their goal is. Like,
but that's
as like at the heart of what they're like, because they're gonna still have to play for money and for, like, they're not gonna give up like their bread. That they have to use entertainment to do that, and if you're gonna use entertainment, then you have to go after the hearts, bro.
And that's what I mean about their burden. Their burden shouldn't be political at all. They should be allowed to just be athletes and only focus on sports. But that's not the case. They are, by society, by cultural standards, required to help out in this fight, because it's a fight that we've been losing, and they have some sort of power. Like, that's the tricky line. It's the same conversation with Little Miss Flint. A beautiful job that she's doing, but there's no way that child should have had to sacrifice her teenage, her whole preteen life to fight for clean water in her town. That's an adult's fight. That's a politician's fight. That's a, manufacturer's fight. That's somebody's fight that's not hers, and she's had no choice but to absorb that burden. So same with these basketball players. The political fight is not their fight, but because they have a platform and power, they've been kind of forced to absorb a fight that's not theirs. And it's unfair, but it's because that's your battle. Now you got to decide: are we just trying to change the hearts and minds of the people that come to see us or watch us night by night? Or are we trying to change the system? And that's what Kirsten said. They weren't all in agreement. When Kyrie brought it up, not everybody was on the same page. Are we trying to change the fans? Are we trying to change the system?
And I'll just say these two things because we can keep going, and but like, they have to be on the same page. Like, even their whole idea of what should be done about Breonna Taylor has actually been co-opted by liberal ideas. Like, you guys don't even know where this idea came from, because really it's about police abolishment. Because if you keep talking about arresting police, you're still trying to put faith and hope in the system that has been designed to not be right. It's not a broken system. It's working as it should be. And then the second point is that at one point or another, if you're going to get to this conversation, the conversation is going to lead to everything needs to be changed by every means. And that's going to be meaning things are going to be shifted, pays, organizations, political. So at one point or another, even entertainment will have to shift. So if that's the conversation, if that's where the conversation's going, and that's what the action's going to be led to afterward, you know?
And those people in power are often older, and older people are resistant to change. So you kind of have to force their hand with the change, which is, again, why we get Black Lives Matter on the court, which is why they have the slogans on the jersey. It's minor steps. It's not defunding a city by 50%, but it's something because the powers that be are noticing, just look at the landscape, you have no choice but to go with the flow. You cannot fight the change. If you fight the change, you'll be Donald Sterling. If you fight the change, you'll be Richardson in Carolina, who got put out. If you fight the change, you'll be that old guy where the world moves on without you. So we see some change happening, but
NBA has been the best one to amplify this voice. I will say that.
Yes,
they actually listen to their black players. I don't know what other organization does that.
So I mean, like, we'll keep checking in with y'all, man. This is LSD is back. As long as the bubble is bubbling, we gonna be here for y'all.
All right, on that.
But
note,
yeah, we're looking forward to it. Lakers play tomorrow against the Clippers. We'll tap back in after the next couple games. LSD Podcast is back. Lake Show Daily. Let's go.
It feels so good to be back.
Shout out to the Lakers.